Well, hello there, you amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's Thursday. You're looking absolutely amazing, you beautiful, beautiful people, you. And I am losing my voice. Supposed to be doing a live tonight, but the more the day goes on, the more I'm losing my voice. It's because I haven't stopped talking because I've been really busy. Violins, I know. In this video, we are going to be talking about the Liam Payne case because let's get into it. Because something ain't sitting right here. Something ain't sitting right. The good news is it would appear that Cassidy is getting jack shit from Liam Payne's estate. They weren't common law, they weren't married, so she has no bearing on where his money will or will not go. But this is what I find really interesting. It says Liam's last gift, Liam Payne's £24 million legacy revealed after One Direction star died, age 31, without writing a will, and Cheryl's key role emerges. Court documents show who has been granted power of administration of his estate. So it says Liam Payne's legacy has been revealed after the One Direction star died without writing a will, leaving behind 24.3 million. And I know what you're going to say. Well, there's going to be some different thoughts and feelings here, which I'm going to get to mine in a second because something seems way off here. Is 24.3 million. That's a lot. Now, that was after deductions. I think the total was around 28. There's obviously some debts that some financial things that he had to cover. But it says One Direction star singer Liam tragically passed away in October last year at the age of 31 after fallen from a balcony in Argentina. And it goes on to say there's some pictures of Liam. There he is, bless him. Court documents show Payne left 28.5 million, which after expenses and debts were paid, saw the figure reduced to 24.22 million, which is, without knowing where sort of £4+ million had to go, it's just takes a piss, this country. You earn money, you pay your tax all your life. It's like a couple can work all of their life, have paid tax all their life, and if they then want to give something to the kids then get taxed on what they're given by the parents who've done nothing but been taxed throughout their life. And it's like this. I'm guessing that a lot of that was probably some form of fucking taxation, but went down to 24.28 million. It says the tragic singer died intestate, which means he didn't leave a will stating what should be done with his money. However, court docs show the court has granted power of administration of his estate to Cheryl Tweedy, his former partner and mother of his 8-year-old son, Bear. Also named an administrator is top music lawyer Richard Bray, partner in a London-based legal firm. I do find this a little bit odd that because Liam Payne has parents. Now, generally, in the absence of a will, the kind of the go-to would be to go to the parents. It would usually go to the parents because they are his closest relations. But again, he does have a son, so does that mean that automatically it would go to his son? And because Cheryl is Bear's mum, then I don't know the complete intricacies. I have, however, in the past had to deal with death in service situations where people have died at work, and the businesses that they have worked for have a death in service payment, where you then have to mitigate where the money goes in the event that the employee hasn't stipulated where that death in service goes. And in my experience, I've had exceptions to the rule, but most of those situations I have had to have allowed the money to go to parents of the deceased rather than the partners or ex-partners who have children. So I find that a little bit strange. I do find it a little bit strange that in an absence of a will, when he has parents, that the money is automatically seemingly gone over to Cheryl. but I'm guessing there's something in the background. But that's not my biggest problem here. Also named as an administrator as top music lawyer, Richard Bray, partner in a London-based legal firm. There is a segment here on what happens if you die without a will. It first passes to a spouse or civil partner, then it will go to children, then it will be siblings, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. I find that that's really strange that it doesn't say parent, but there we go. There we go. Like I say, I've dealt with things like this previously, and in my own experience, generally it's parents. But under UK rules of intestacy, it is likely that the money will be placed in trust for Liam's son, while his girlfriend at the time of his death, Kate Cassidy, will receive a big fat fuck all, as they were not married or in a civil partnership. This comes after the singer's haunting final words were revealed by his girlfriend Kate 6 months after his death. The influencer 25 has been candidly documenting her grief since the tragic event in interviews and on social media. You can read Kate's full chat with the Sun here. I would rather shit in my hands and clap than click on that link there. But this is the issue that I have. I'm not interested in listening to any more of that tramp. But what I do find interesting is that we're talking about 24 million, right? Now, Liam Payne himself had made reference to how much money he was worth while he was in Argentina, which he seemingly suggested around 50 million. And when you look at reports previously that would speak about net worth of Liam Payne, even going back to like 2020, it was stated that Liam Payne was worth around £47 million. He also had a substantial property portfolio, which around the time that was being stated that he was, he had around 47 million or whatever it was. He was also selling properties, and some of these properties are worth several £1 million as well. He was a very shrewd business person. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't stupid. Not only was he a fantastic singer and a fantastic person, he was also an astute business person. And this was even supported by statements made by Rogelio Norris as well. Liam Payne knew what he was doing with respect to business. But in the aftermath of his death, we have seen statements being made to suggest that the volume, the worth of his property portfolio was starting to deteriorate, which I find very bizarre based on the fact that the people who took over it were seemingly people who were dealing with Liam Payne prior to his death. It's kind of these managers, if you like. And they were stipulating the properties that were losing value, declining in value, were London-based business addresses, business properties. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way, hell on earth, that the properties in London, the business properties in London, are decreasing in value. That's not something that you would hear in the same sentence, and hasn't been that way for a long period of time. And that is property value in London decreasing. Just doesn't happen. But I could see way back then when we originally reported on it that there was sort of millions getting lost in there, and I wonder whether something was being done to try and sneak money out the back door. And then we have this situation, and I have to ask, where is Liam's money? If he was worth around 50 million, and by his own accounts when he was talking about money, if we believe that, of course, but they do tend to trend that how much he was worth was kind of trending around 50, and now we're seeing that he has got 24. So by my estimation, somewhere along the line, there is approximately 20 million, unless Kate Cassidy's monthly expenses were starting to eat away at his money. And look, don't get me wrong, if he ain't got money coming in, and he's got money going out, especially if you've got someone like Kate taking that sort of money off him each month, it isn't going to last forever. But he was releasing music. He would have been getting some form of royalties from the music that he had done previously. And again, by my estimate, there is money missing. And by the look of it, there's approximately 20 million that has vanished into thin air. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. I'm going to start digging more into it. Love you all. Oh.